Rock climbing is about anything but the rocks. It is primarily a mental and emotional experience. You know, there's a certain place that you go into where everything slows down.
And then to come over here and go full circle and be teaching on the cliffs that I learned to love back then, it's pretty awesome. My name's Paul McCoy. I am co-owner, along with my wife, Lisa, of the International Mountain Climbing School in North Conway, New Hampshire. I started out as a fly fisherman as a kid with my dad, and we were on a trip out west, and I really wanted to go climbing. I saw it on a brochure, so we're out in the Tetons. He hired a guide for me for a half day. And I liked it so much that when I came back, I think I was probably 16, I wasn't really playing my saxophone anymore, so I sold the sax, and with that, I bought my first rope and a few carabiners.
My name is Randy Willett. I am the owner and lead guide at Swift River Daily Guide Service. Born and raised outside, more or less, you know, always been outside, fishing, hiking, biking, hunting, no place I'd rather be.
When people come to the valley and I get to share these places that I've become really intimate with over my life, it's special, you know, like I have a connection to these mountains in particular.
You're observing what's happening around you and you're going back to basics. You're being a part of the environment instead of just being in the environment.
You know, the way that we meet people here and the way that we build a community around and in the outdoors is in the outdoors.
So as a guide for the AMC, I think that the AMC, the Appalachian Mountain Club, is really special in that there is a huge community in it and around it. It's really community-centric and very welcoming.
We have beautiful granite, similar to what you might have in the Yosemite Valley and other parts of the country, and really quality, fun climbing, and it's a great spot to train to go anywhere else in the world.
But people train for El Capitan here on Cathedral Ledge, and it's actually a great cliff to do that on. Mount Washington is only 6,288 feet, but it's got the world's worst weather, and it's as rugged as the best of them. And people will come and train for Denali quite regularly with ascents on Mount Washington.
The backcountry experience, fly fishing experience, whether it's a high alpine pond or a first order tributary, is more unique in the sense that the fish that we're going to see are under a lot less pressure. They're wild and native fish for the most part. My conservation ethos as a guide in the backcountry, the White Mountains National Forest, is plain and simple. Leave it the way you found it or leave it better than you found it. We have a responsibility as guides to instill that ethos to our client base as well. We are simply part of what's happening here. We are not the end-all be-all.
I think that's a huge part of our program is by signing up, you're working with an organization that is protecting recreation and educating folks on outdoors and a part of the conservation story that's happening.
The most gratifying things that I've seen as a guide are participants showing up on a program, leaning into a new experience with people that they're just meeting.
There's a couple things I love about working with clientele. You know, the first timer, maybe it's even the bucket lister, somebody that wants to climb up Cathedral Ledge for the first time. And we, you know, do a little introduction, how the equipment works and the movement works. And then next thing you know, they're topping out the fence on Cathedral. And you know, that's an experience they never thought they would be able to obtain.
Really, ultimately, guides are risk mitigators and decision makers. Yeah, what I noticed about folks that are new to the area or exploring for the first time that don't necessarily hire a guide is that they end up going to the same trails and climbing the same routes and doing like the same things that float to the top of the Google search.